Just working on placing the U-joint out of this shaft out of my 84 Dodge Power Wagon Prospector W150. Again, I already took one part out because I'm not conscious of YouTube etiquette. But anyway, I'm about to press this one side out, but all I've got is this iPhone. I don't have any kind of mount, so I'm just going to stop it and film again once I have it out. I found that if you put this U-joint, ball joint separator on here and kind of jam this through a little bit, you got to get these little snap rings out, or they're not snap rings, but they are little retainer rings here and here, and they have them on the other side too. You jam this end in a little bit, it gets this one freed up. It tightens that one, but it's not too bad. And you go back to the other side, do it opposite, push it back, you get that pin out, because these are seized really bad. They're really almost rust welded there. This U-joint isn't too bad. The rust on this one is not good. The bearings, you can see bearings out of that side. I kind of broke this one. I forgot to take those pins out, but you know, it's broken. I'm broken. We're all broken a little bit, right? This one though, this side, actually didn't look too bad for being what I would imagine is 20 plus years of service on this thing. Gonna clean these up a little bit. Oh, there's Kitty. That's Kitty. That's Kitty also. And I mean, like, not Kitty as well, but Kitty also. That's Kitty. Kitty also too. Kitty also actually had a kitten. Its name was Kitty also as well. Unfortunately, she didn't make it. But when spring comes around and she gets knocked up again, I'm gonna go ahead and rename one of her kittens Kitty also as well. Again. Not again. I'm gonna leave again off the name, but Kitty also as well. Does this make sense? I feel like this is a who's on first thing. Anyway, yeah. Four-finger death punch. Now you can see that little gap in between there. I guess we get to that little ring. It's right here. I'll be able to knock that out pretty easily. What I won't be able to do is knock it out and film it pretty easily, because I'm a loser. When you do it this way, you might cause a small explosion on the other end of your U-joint, but that is just the old U-joint. I mean, look at it, you get, oh shit, but it's okay. It's gonna be just fine. We're gonna push out that other side now, just a little bit, get that damn retaining ring out of there. By the way, you need a good place to store your screwdriver. A can of grease that you opened up because your grease gun was too cold and you thought it was empty, and it wasn't, just need to be heated up. And so you opened a can of good grease and now it's just there. But that's a good place to keep this really long screwdriver, covered in grease, never gonna rust. You're good to go. There you can kind of see that little ring that I'm pounding out. Pound. See there? Maybe I'll grab it out here. Look at that. Look at that, it's almost in one piece. Amazing. And it goes to the graveyard. Okay. So, I don't even know if the rest of that is anywhere on there. Let's just hammer down, man. Max torque. I'm a max torque kind of guy. Let's just push it through there, see what happens. If it breaks, it breaks. And I have to wait a month for money. Buy a new one. So that's kind of what your needle bearings should look like. Actually, these don't look too bad. They're not really rusted. To be honest, this U-joint is probably okay. I mean, it had that end. It was nasty. All of it's nasty. So, fuck it. I'm gonna replace them anyway. Well, replace it. The needle bearings go inside of it. But yeah, that's kind of how it will look when you try to press it out there. Now I'll pop this off of here by undoing that way, and then we'll get the cap off and all the needle bearings will fall out on the ground, and I'll be like, oh no, but I won't care because I'm not going to use it again, so I don't give a shit. This little cap, pull it off, those needle bearings aren't bad. I'm surprised these aren't bad at all, because this truck, I don't, maybe in the 2 years that I didn't own this truck, in the past 26 years that I've been involved with it, maybe the two in between there, the guy replaced whatever, but I doubt it, because that guy that ended up with my truck that I bought it back from, he was a complete dumbass. And I mean, I'm a dumbass, but he was a complete dumbass, and everything was totally. I wish I could have just got what happened on video, because pushing this one through, the little piece of the retaining ring that didn't get out made a really cool explosion. Lots of sparks going there with the impact wrench pushing this side through. So again, nothing ever goes as planned, but you can see that this busted part is coming out. So we're just going to keep going at it. Hammer down. Good news. Old U-joint is out. Bad news. Old U-joint cap is still there. So I'm going to get that. Some of you keen-eyed viewers might have noticed I have flipped this on its side, and that's still part of the U-joint. That's not part of the actual spindle thingy here. So to get that out, I pounded it down flush with a hammer, and you know what really fits right here? This socket. And I'm just gonna pound that motherfucker out. It's gonna work. I had to switch to another socket and another accent, because it's just how you do. But now I've got this impact socket. Oh, I don't know what size it is, maybe like a 21 or something, but look, it's pushing it out. I had to stop to make sure I got it on video. All right, mates, let's do this again. See, press it right out. It's good. Oh man, it's hot. Oh geez, I'm just kidding, it's not hot, but it is fucked. Look, I got like tiger stripes on my, I got tribal on my fingers. That's crazy. Anyway, sorry, I can get distracted very easily. So I press it out. This is actually a good quality Pittsburgh 17. Look at that, folks. Now what I'm going to do is clean up the inner races of these things. They are very rusty. What do people always put their hand behind something? But I've only got like part of a hand, so maybe, yeah, that's why it's not focusing, because you gotta have a pinky to do it. But yeah, gonna do that. Clean up these inner races. That's about it. And then maybe paint this shaft, and this spindle's pretty good. So I'll kind of knock the rust off this thing, and maybe paint it up. What you have to do to clean out the inner races of these things, take a socket that roughly fits in there, accommodate for the thickness of the Gorilla duct tape I use in the 600 grit wet dry sandpaper I'm going to use. Put this around that socket, and we're going to use that to spin around the inside races of those things. Don't mind a mess. It's just how I live, because I'm a disgusting human being. We're going to do that. First, I'm going to clean this up and paint it. So that way I don't really care if paint gets on the inner races of this and this, because I'm going to lightly sand all of it out anyway. So it'll be just fine. Just a little side note, or as lots of people call it, a pro tip. I found that so when you put your Gorilla tape on there backwards, so you got this little hump right there, which is not a huge problem, but where your duct tape or whatever tape you're using ends, I find it's best to start the 600 grit sandpaper right there and finish it right there in the same seam. so it doesn't create another big hump, because this is going to fit, you know, if everything works out right, pretty tightly in this guy. See? Oh, that's beautiful. And you're just gonna spin it around there on your drill, and it's gonna clean it out. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna work fantastically. It's gonna be just as wonderful as that O'Reilly's carb cleaner smells. See how nice that looks, sort of? And we're gonna get all that paint out of the inner races, clean it all up. I even over here, and ooh, looks like it's gonna need a second coat, or finish the first coat. Try to cover up my dad's old vice here. I sure wish he'd loved me when I was young. I'm just kidding. He did love me. He's dead, but he was a good dad. So we're gonna cover that up, try to paint this, even though, oh God, look, I need to take all that. Ooh, crap, that's disgusting. I have to rust reform this thing too. My lighting's so bad here in the shop that I didn't notice this was covered in rust until I just now looked at it. Anyway, I'm gonna clean that up a little bit more, get some coating on that, something. Finish. Oh my God. Wow, I did terrible on that. Neat. I put the old shop heater, AKA the heat gun, it's the only heater I have in here, onto this and dried the paint a little bit. Now I put this mother onto this contraption. Now we fit it in the hole. Oh yeah. Oh, I like that action. I know I like it. Oh, look at that. It's already getting so much better. We're gonna do that a little bit. Oh no. It's stuck. Not. Oh. But anyway, gonna do that a little bit. Get all these races cleaned out. Some dust is probably gonna stick in that paint. I'm probably not even gonna let it dry before I put them back together. I don't care that much. So it didn't work right, but something cool just happened. I had to retape the sandpaper onto this thing, and I was gonna say everything worked just fine. It was perfect, but I had it too thick of circumference, and it turned my inside out tape. It caught it and wrapped it right side around, which is pretty fucking cool, honestly. Doesn't help me at all, and it put a bunch of gunky Gorilla Tape residue all over my impact socket, but kind of new plan. I'm using this old piece of shit Dotco, so I can't find my new Dotco, and I'm going to clean out the races with this. That worked great for all of 2 seconds. And then my Harbor Freight Special completely lost the innards of this and shot them somewhere in my shop. So don't buy this little fucking kit from Harbor Freight, because it fucking sucks. Yeah, it's a couple days later here, and I finally got the U-joint that I needed. Oh, darn it. I think a needle bearing fell down inside that cap. I'm gonna press it back out. So these needle bearings, when you're trying to press your cap on, sometimes, I mean, they just greased in there, stuck with friction for the grease. One will fall down, a couple fall down in the bottom of that cup. Then when you try to get it all the way on, it doesn't want to press all the way on. And so since I can't move this pin all the way into the damn thing, I'm fairly certain that it has done just that. So what I'll have to do is press that side out again and check that cap. When you're using this tool, it's kind of cumbersome. It's big and heavy. Helps to have 10 fingers. You gotta make sure that you are centered on here real well, so you can press that bearing out into this sleeve, so you don't just press against it and cause an explosion of bearing caps making sparks and possibly shattering into your eyes or something, because that just happened to me the other day when I was taking them out. I forgot to take a ring out, So I just kept banging on it. Luckily I didn't break the yokes. So I'm gonna try to press this out. Okay, well, one thing that I've done here, which is a mistake because I'm a very smart person, that is sarcasm. I forgot to take this damn retaining ring off here. So it's pressed really tight against that. So I'm gonna have to switch the tool back around, and I'm gonna press it back that way so I can get that pin out, retaining ring out, and I will switch this tool back around, press that out. It's probably only gonna take me about 10 hours today to do this. Now I've got this pressed out, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I already checked underneath here, but I put the cap back on so I can pull it off and show you exactly what I saw. Bam. Needle bearing sitting on the bottom like a jackass. Now there's another one that fell down there too, and I tried to put it back on. So I'm gonna straighten those back up, put them in place, get this pressed on. I'll try to do this one-handed, see how it works. Just got the impact, got this one pushed through, got the needle bearings, should be all good to go. So let's see how this goes. Stop using that for support, so it's all shaky. Sorry about that. Now that might be a little far, but I can get that pin in. See how that lip's a little bit wide, but I can get that pin in. Ring, keep calling them pins. If I didn't just lose it somewhere, which looks like I did. Well, fantastic. So anyway, here's the fourth one that I haven't lost yet. So I'm just gonna press that in. And now I'll press it back again to get that tight against the yoke, because I do not have the lip on this side. All right, so I lost one of the new rings to the void here, but luckily I found one of the old ones on the lower void down there, cleaned it up and popped it in. It's still good to go. So now what you want to do is just grab that shaft, twist it all around, gear down, big shifter. Make sure it moves freely, you know, because you don't want it stuck. But anyway, I think that'll do it for this U-joint. Now we'll stick it back in the truck. I do want to point out that the service manual for the 1984 D and W100 350 and Ram Chargers does show that you should use a vise to put in the U-joints. Yeah, I use the ball joint separator press tool and it worked just fine, but you can just use a vise. It's easier. You don't have to hold the damn thing up there. And I mean, I kind of did more work than I needed to because I used the vise to hold the shaft and then use the ball joint press when I could just press it in with the vise. So I just wanted to make that known. Oh, and this shows the little conical washers, the steering arm coming off, and it's so easy. They suggest you just use a flathead screwdriver, which does not work, especially now it's been on there for 40 years. But if you have one of these trucks, I highly recommend getting one of these guys for whatever year you have. They're a bit expensive. I mean, I got this back in like 2010. Still in really good shape, but you know, they definitely help a lot. This right now I'm working on the pumpkin, and I got that in here, Dana 44 marked up here. If you have a 250, you know, if you got a Dana 60 in the front, you lucky son of a bitch. But Dana 60's in the back here. It has pretty much every option covered. Torque specs, servicing limits, special tool, part numbers. Yeah, really good to have. So, high 4.